This government has shown in the past that we have not been afraid to take the very difficult decisions to protect our water bodies and forest cover. You'll recollect in 2018 or so, mining of all forms was banned for years. It enabled us to put certain measures in place. Measures like making sure that acquisition of licensing for legal small-scale mining was made easier. This government met about 11 officers. We've created like 21 more officers and since just to ensure that the regulation of the sector is taken and made easier so people will engage in legal mining rather than what we have, what we are seeing today. What we are seeing today also did not start just yesterday. I mean, we could go way back. 2013, reportage, Ghana, China issues, and all of that. No Ghanaian will be happy seeing pictures like that. But even before I go, let me address the matter of the Laboni water. You know, we have issues with our pipes and the way we have laid and construction works and all of that. I have had a case of a similar nature where you open the tap and the quality of the water you could see visibly right here in Accra. But it turned out that somebody had broken my tap, so there was some leakage. And so the pipe that runs to my house was picking up sediments, and I was running through the tap. And once I got it fixed, the quality improved. So some of these things, I think that we have issues, how construction and the laying of pipes will be confused every now and again when there are construction works happening. But even looking at a bigger picture, I mean, this issue of illegal mining, it's something that it's rightly we should be dealing headlong with it. And I'm sure that the government has put in measures. See, right in 2018, 2019, when we banned mining or small-scale mining for all that time, the gold that was produced in this country did not significantly reduce. In fact, some data that I've seen even shows that even when it was banned, the production of gold actually went up. Today, gold...
Meaning what?
Meaning that there was still mining activity happening when the government had banned it for all sorts. So as to
which means that the ban was not properly enforced.
It's one thing. It just goes to tell you that banning of the activity, it's not the ultimate solution.
No, I disagree.
The ultimate solution for me is to streamline it, make sure that everybody engaged in small-scale mining is being properly regulated, so they are doing the right things. And if they are doing the right things under a well-regulated sector, I'm not sure that we'll experience what we are doing today. So it is about...
Let me provide you some statistics. Let me provide you some statistics.
Okay,
so two things.
Yeah.
I've said repeatedly here that the difference between Ghana and most of the places we admire and we call developed is that in Ghana, law is enactment. Elsewhere, law is enforcement. That's the difference between us and them. Law is enforcement for them. For us, law is enactment. So we'll refer to a ban. But enforcing the details of the ban is what we will not focus on to do.
See,
because
right?
merely, let me just finish. Merely announcing a ban. Because if you are saying that, from what you are saying, that the data shows that it was during the period of the ban that we even had a lot more production around small scale. What it implies is that the ban was not effective. Or even though there was a ban, people were still engaged in it. That's what you're implying. And what does that mean? It means that we were unable to enforce
on the other side of the coin
the principles of the ban. That's one. Two.
On the other side of the coin.
Two. When you talk about legislation and legalizing and doing everything, if you have moved from a regime of having, let's say, a little over 50 licenses issued, to a period of having about 1,600, look at the quantum leap, about 1,600 licenses issued, which then speaks to your point, or bring all of them, legalize them. so that you can regulate them. Is that not the point you're making?
It is not a case of bring all of them and legalize them. Ensure that people are actually regulated in the sector.
Yeah, so the point I'm making is
it is not a case of just writing their names and
I'm saying,
just because
you move from a point of 50 to over 1,500.
That also is an indication that when the licenses were just 50, perhaps there were more illegal activity happening.
You still don't get the point I'm making. I'm saying
no, my point is that when we had just 50 licenses,
you are saying that
it is most likely that more people were also engaged in illegal mining. And so now you make it easier for 1,000 more people to legally come take licenses.
You are not listening to me.
I'm listening to you.
I'm saying that you make the point that have a regime where you bring a lot more of them under the regulatory agencies, license them so you can regulate them. So you move from a regime where you had just about 50-something licenses issued to over 1,500 within that small period. Yet, the period of registering and licensing the most in your history is a period that has also witnessed the worst form of impunity, of illegality in this country.
I have heard people question whether or not. Anyway, let's just.
The question whether or not.
let's just.
Whether we are better off or worse off.
No, those are your words, not mine.
No, I want to find out what they are questioning.
Those are your words, not mine. What I'm saying this morning is that look.
I know a few psychiatrists. I can recommend some of them to those people.
In a period where we had made the licensing regime more for user-friendly, I should say, so that more people are able to come forward, register, are regulated, and their equipment and all of that. I mean, it's brought us here. It just means that, look, there is more work to be done. And for us to get there, we've proven that in a period where we've had a blanket ban, the issues, the challenges were not resolved. And so why do you think that a blanket ban today will resolve the issues that were not resolved the last time we banned the activity? See, when I unfortunately, I have to take this line of argument. Look, the mining sector alone today constitutes about 8% of our economy. Given where we are today, traditional authorities, there are so many stakeholders within the sector, and even the politicians, like Professor Enin was saying, it is not a case that one side of the political divide is. People want to refer to the Frimpong Mbate report. That report, even if you want to give some credence to that report, it did state that both sides of the political divide, it is not limited to one side. It is for all of us to come to the table. We've heard what Labour is saying. We've heard what UTAG is saying. We've heard all of that. And those are right calls. Nobody is going to go fight them, no. They are right calls. But as they make those calls, I mean, for an association like the University Teachers Association of Ghana, I'd expect that they being the body that they are, they will also come with certain recommendations. The association of some other associations, the Sciences and Arts, or whatever, they've all come up with such. But I think that we all have to
suggesting that
we all have to take responsibility.
Government needs recommendations
I'm not,
from those who are to be able to save our water bodies and forest cover.
Randy, today, where we are,
yes,
I'm saying that, look, we all have to stand up.
We all have to do it.
We all have to take some level of responsibility in fighting this menace.
No, tell me, Randy, tell me, what am I supposed to do?
You are doing your best by discussing the matter here. I mean,
what more should I do?
What more should you do?
Yes.
Perhaps you have some information that will be critical to the security services. Perhaps
what haven't I shown? I've brought Erasmus on this show many times. I've brought many other people. I've spoken with Professor Sampini.
Exactly.
We've done everything.
Exactly. Consciously, you're making an effort of
national
making sure that
knows
in the last
more
couple of
than
weeks,
all of us.
You're making an effort to ensure that in the last couple of weeks, every time you're on this show, this matter it's brought up. I think that it's in the right direction. We are bringing this to the banner. Everybody is getting involved in there.
And what is government doing?
I think, government, I've told you that government has not been afraid, and government has not shied away from taking the very difficult decisions to fight this menace. And this government had lived with the repercussions of those decisions. And so it's not something like the government is sitting aloof. No. Government is doing its bit. But government being government.
Which one is government's bit that is doing? Did you hear?
Randy.
Your parliamentary candidate.
Yeah.
In the presence of the RECSEC chairman, the regional minister, informed those miners that he was addressing that government has stopped all the galamsey stop and the operation, whatever, they've stopped all that. And that if they see any soldiers there, they are on an unlawful mission.
Randy, that matter is gone beyond a certain level. He was invited.
Which level?
Police. I'm not too sure what led to that.
Which level?
I am not too sure
what
led to
that.
Latest, but I am
the
not going to sit
latest
here.
Plan.
You see, when
the
we start,
government's latest plan is that the same regional minister should lead the process of solving.
When we start politicizing, I mean, he goes, Professor Enin goes for further to say that when we politicize this matter, it will not be resolved.
What is politicization?
I mean, by
what is politicization?
By us finding some sort of respite and pointing figures at some political leaders, as if the other side is. Let us as citizens. I mean, this matter, it's an existential threat to all of us. To all of us. So I won't sit here to downplay the matter. What I'm saying is that, look, this is the time. Our traditional authorities should and I've seen some of them being active in helping to fight this menace. The government is doing, as citizens, we also have a role to play to ensure that our water bodies and our forest cover is safeguarded.